Hey guys, it's James Walsh here back with you to bring you the second part of our Scotty Riggs interview from back in 2006. And I got to tell you, listening to it back, I can't figure out how we edited this thing. It is how we aired it in 2006. The first part was really long with Scotty Riggs, and the second part here is not very long at all. It was all recorded the same day, but we just thought it was just so long that we had to edit it. So good. I mean, it's rich in its buttery goodness, but it's long. So here's the second half of it, or second portion, second third, and we have a third one coming up here in a few weeks as well. This one is back from 2006. We interviewed Scotty Riggs a number of years later as well, so be sure and check us out. WrestlingEpicenter.com.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Wrestling Epicenter.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Hello, ladies. Remember me? Let me talk to you, dummies.
It's now time
It's theater time. TikTok.
It's showtime!
for the longest running wrestling talk show in history.
We are huge. It's gonna be cool.
You're where it's at.
You smell like me.
Tune in each and every week.
And you better keep listening, or I'll come out of your computer
And turn it on for you.
or else I'm gonna kick your stinking teeth in.
We've been known by a few names.
The needs of the many far outweigh the needs of the few.
The Interactive Interview,
Interactive interview. Oh, yeah.
Interactive interview.
The interactive interview.
Interactive interview. The interactive interview.
Interactive Wrestling Radio,
Interactive wrestling radio.
Interactive Wrestling Radio.
Interactive radio.
Interactive wrestling radio.
Interactive wrestling radio.
The Blaze,
Blaze 1260 AM.
The Blaze.
The Blaze.
Blaze. The Blaze Rock.
and a lot of other names.
Weekend Warrior of Wrestling. The Pile Driver. The Epa Wrestling Center. 3-count wrestling. The Hours Lab.
But it's all one show, the Wrestling Epicenter.
Wrestling Epicenter. The Wrestling Epicenter.
The Epicenter.
Wrestling Epicenter, dude.
The Wrestling Epicenter. Don't get off.
And your host from day one,
By ignorance or arrogance.
James Walsh.
Wake up, sleepyheads.
Dr. Carol S.
It all starts
What a rush. Oh, Boomer Sooner.
Thank you very much.
I got 2 words for you. Thumbs down. Breaking necks and cashing checks. I've heard a lot about you guys.
Check it out. Get out of my face. You win!
But I'm desperately out of time!
So what you gonna do when Plays-A-Mania runs wild on you?
now.
Some people still get into it. As goofy as that is, but yeah, that's when, that's why I kind of used that a little bit.
Final question I have for you is, when you first started WCW, Eric Bischoff was just starting to, they were just starting to do Monday Night Nitro. Were your feelings that this was going to succeed, or that it was going to be a disaster for WCW?
Well, actually, I had a feeling it was going to succeed because it was basically the next step that wrestling was going to. I mean, you could see with Raw and how they were doing stuff. You could see with just that tape shows and the way the internet was taking off. You could see that live television was going to be the next best thing. The only thing that sucked out of it was that we went from doing a 1-hour show, kind of like Raw was, to then a 2-hour show, to then a 3-hour show.
Right.
So then every week it was like wherever you were, wherever you're doing, you knew you had to be part of a pay-per-view, then a 3-hour show, then another TV tape, and everything else. So, I mean, when we started doing that, then the fact that fans knew that they were on live TV, that's when it went from just being a wrestling show where it became a event, kind of like a WrestleMania was, or a Starrcade was, or shows of that caliber.
Right.
It became, every Monday it became an event. And wrestling fans at home were being treated to live events. I mean, why do you think Monday Night Football did so well so long? Live football on Mondays.
Yep.
You know, had its own night in one sense. Or, you know, basketball is always, you know, Sundays. Football is, you know, Sundays. Anything like that that's live, that a fan that they can actually do live, not just some tape show they can watch and videotape or whatever. In fact, it was done live, and your one chance to see it happen. Everybody wanted to buy tickets for it. Everybody wanted to be there. Everybody wanted to be seen on TV. Everyone wanted to watch it on TV because you never know what's going to happen on a live event.
Right.
And that's why it works so well. That's why it still works well. It's just the fans get tired of the product now. They still want to see what happens on live events.
Right.
You know, that's why everybody goes to reality TV. There's no real TV unless it's live.
Right. Exactly.
You can always edit it and make it the way you want it to be.
Exactly.
So the only reality TV is live shows.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, you know, wrestling in that sense, the Nitro and Raw both grew to where then you had to have a SmackDown and you had to have a Thunder. Because so much was happening on live shows, you know, live events. Everyone always tells you, you really can't experience it till you see it live.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew it was going to grow.
Right.
You know, and then again, you also knew somehow as it grew, it would also have a downfall.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, unfortunately, when you go to producing 23 hours of live TV a month, you know, things are going to get stale, things are going to get retreaded, and people's egos and creativity are going to take over, and it's all going to become either about one person or a group of people who are going to take over the whole 3 hours because they want to be seen on everything.
Right.
And that's what happened to a lot of it. So that's again, you know, you have a great thing, and you know somehow, some way, something is going to be the downfall of it.
Right.
And it's just when you have one person that's trying to run the show, be seen on the whole show, that's the bad thing of it.
Yeah. Question for you about one of your last characters for WCW was you kind of had the mirror. You were kind of a narcissist kind of character. You were mostly on Saturday night. Why do you think they never got behind that and actually utilized you on more big shows like Nitro or Thunder?
That's where again I didn't play. I guess you could say the politics of things.
Mm-hmm.
When they wanted me, when the flock disbanded.
Right.
They wanted me to kind of get away from that persona. They wanted me to become a wrestler again, but they wanted to use my looks to an advantage somehow. And that's where they had to go again back to when you got to go 180 degrees away from what you were, you got to go from being the grunge to being a pretty boy again.
Right.
That's the easiest way to be a pretty boy, stick a mirror in your face. And we had a lot of cool things they wanted to do, but it was just always seemed to be, there was always one person who was pushing for it and one person who was pushing against it.
Right.
And unfortunately, WCW, at that time, the committee in a sense, what's the politically correct way of putting this? There was always one person who just did not like me. I don't know why. And he always seemed to at that time had the most influence. And because I didn't play the politics, I didn't go crying if, you know, I had to lose to somebody. I didn't go crying if I had to do this. And maybe I love myself, I probably should have. But, you know, it was just at the point in time where I really wasn't happy at WCW at times. So I just kind of took what they wanted me to do because, you know, it was a great paycheck. It was something that was good. It was stable. But, I mean, I was kind of lost, I wasn't happy where things were going. Because no matter how hard you worked, you just weren't getting anywhere. You kind of got stuck in that stereotype of one thing. And that's just the way the Bischoff era was. If you weren't in there in somebody's ear constantly, you weren't getting anywhere. And me, I grew up on the Ricky Steamboat era where your work rate was what got you somewhere.
Yep.
Not who you talked to, complained to, spoke to, and stuff like that.
All right.
So that's where, I kind of did what was given to me.
All right.
Took it, and then was always, in a sense, looking for a way out.
Oh.
I didn't really want to leave WCW, but it was just the only way I could make myself better was to leave. It was kind of like the same Ron Anderson conversation I had before.
Right. Did you hear about the story where Raven walked out on the meeting when Bischoff basically sat up?
I was there.
But did you walk out too?
No, I just kind of sat back and was going, well, I mean, he popped up, and he was the only one ready to do it. I think Conan might have, he might have done something, but the one that really sticks out was Raven.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the fact that he popped up and said, hey, if that's what it's going to be, I'm done, I'm out. Because he knew he could go somewhere else, bam. And he did.
Right.
So, you got to sometimes have that belief in yourself. You can go somewhere else. You can always do something else. And
the preceding announcement was paid for by the Wrestling Epicenter.
On the listen, and if you like what you heard, I'm glad. If you didn't like what you heard, well, go fuck yourself.
Most people don't hung up on me.
We had a lovely conversation.
What a show.
Oh, mercy, Daddy.
On the radio dial. Don't hang up. Bye-bye.